Hey, welcome back to the Bookish Life of Laura. I'm super excited for the topic of today's video because I'm talking about the 2020 O.W.L.s Magical Readathon, which is actually the reason that I started this channel now instead of waiting until I had everything unpacked and organized and actually had access to my books. But I really wanted to do this. I heard about it last year during the Winter Magical Readathon, but it was already like halfway through the month when I heard about it, so I didn't want to start a month-long readathon in the middle of the month, so I decided to wait until the next one, which is now, so here we are, super excited. If you don't know, the O.W.L.s Magical Readathon is hosted by Book Roast, which I'll link down below, and it's basically a month-long readathon inspired by the O.W.L.s exams in Harry Potter. At the start of your O.W.L.s, you pick a career path from a list of choices created by Book Roast, and each career has a set of O.W.L.s that you have to complete in order to get that career. So each O.W.L. is a book prompt, and you have to read all of them, and you cannot double up on your prompts, just one book per prompt. There are also extra courses that you can do if you really want to challenge yourself, which obviously I'm going to, because why not? So I decided to go with the librarian career path, which is not the same as a muggle librarian, and it sounds freaking awesome, and like I would definitely do that in real life if I were a wizard. So I'm hyped for it. It sounds awesome, and I love all the prompts for it. So without further ado, here is my TBR for the 2020 O.W.L.s Magical Readathon. Just as a note, I do have 2 books per prompt, just for 2 reasons. One, because I'm such a mood reader that I could set myself a TBR and end up not wanting to read anything on it, because that's just how I am. So I gave myself a second choice as well, just in case that happens. And also because I use Scribd a lot, and if you know Scribd, then you know that their titles will sometimes disappear with like no notice. So just in case that happens, I have a backup plan. But yeah, so here we go. My first O.W.L. that I have to take is Ancient Runes, which is to pick a book with a heart on the cover or in the title. And my first choice is The Paper Magicians by Charlie M. Holmberg. It is a story of a girl who really wants to study metal magic, but she's assigned paper magic instead, which she learns to actually really love until her teacher has his heart ripped out by somebody who practices dark flesh magic, and she has to like go into his literal heart to save him. I don't know, it sounds wild, and there's a heart on the cover, so we're going for it. It's been on my TBR for a couple years, I think. I just never got around to it, so hopefully I'll be able to if Scribd doesn't take it away. Please leave it there, Scribd, just for this month. And my second choice, just in case that doesn't work out, is Heartstone by Elle, Katherine White. I don't know much about this aside from that it's described as Pride and Prejudice, but with dragons. That's pretty much all that I have to know about it. Sounds awesome. My next O.W.L. is Arithmancy, which is to read something outside of my usual genre. I normally read fantasy, so my first choice for this is the Bromance Bookclub by Lyssa K. Adams. It's about a man who his marriage is falling apart and he desperately wants to save it, so he joins this book club full of men who read classic romance novels in hopes to become better men and also better partners for their wives. It sounds super cute and I really want to read it. I do physically own this book, which means that it's currently lost in a box somewhere, so that one I'll be reading probably closer to the end of April because I really hope to have my books unpacked by then. But if not, if I haven't gotten around to it by then my second choice is Citizen, an American Lyric by Claudia Rankine. This book talks about the racism that is still very prevalent in modern day America, specifically towards people who are black. I heard about this book a couple years ago in university during a course on American literature. It wasn't a required book, which is why I didn't read it then, but my prof just said that it was really good and that we should all read it if we have time, and I just haven't had the time. And also a friend of mine, I think last year, recommended it to me, so hopefully I'll have the chance to finally get around to it if I can't read Bromance Bookclub. My next O.W.L. is Defense Against the Dark Arts, which is to read a book set at sea or on the coast. So for this one, I'm reading The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. This is a love story about Achilles and Patroclus, I hope I'm saying that right, set in ancient Greece on the coast of the Aegean Sea. This one actually did start sometime last week. I read the first chapter or 2, and then the next day I did my TBR for this, and I was like, oh, this book totally fits. So I put it on hold and I'll restart it on the 1st, but this book has been on my TBR for literally years and is a modern classic of queer fiction, so I can't believe that I haven't read it yet, but hopefully I will finally get to, not hopefully, I definitely will be getting to this one. It's my only book choice for this one, so this is a definite, I will be reading this one. I'm going to be starting it on the 1st. It'll be my first book for this readathon, and I'm super excited for it. I've been wanting to read this for so long. My next prompt is History of Magic, which is to read a book featuring witches or wizards, and this one I actually have a physical copy of because I have it out from my library. I took it out before everything shut down, and it was supposed to be returned last week, but since they're not open, they told us just keep whatever you have right now until they reopen, so I still have it, and that is The Unspoken Name by A.K. Larkwood. This book follows a girl who was chosen as a sacrifice to the gods for her people, which is the highest honor. But on the day of her sacrifice, a mage offers her to join him and become his spy slash assassin. And she's like, sure, why not? And just decides to not sacrifice herself and just go kill people instead. It sounds really fun. Fun isn't the right word, but you know what I mean. And it just sounds like it'll be a really awesome read, and I can't wait for it. My second option for that prompt, just in case I, mood reader mode sets in, is When We Were Magic by Sarah Gailey. I know literally nothing about this book aside from that it's witches and it's Sarah Gailey. I've read one book by them before, which was Upright Woman Wanted earlier this year, and it wasn't like my favorite book ever, but I love the way that they tell stories, so I'm just wanting to read every book by them right now. And so Sarah Gailey has become an author that I don't need to know anything about their books. If I see their name on it, I will read it. So that's what's happening, and I can't wait for it. Next up is Transfiguration, which is to read a book with shape-shifting. My first choice for this, and the one that I'm really, really hoping for, is Storm of Life by Amy Rose Capetta, which is the second book in the Brilliant Death series. I loved that book. It's one of my all-time favorites. It's just everything that I could possibly want in a book, and I've been waiting for so long for the second one, and it's finally out. So when it first came out, my library wasn't going to be getting it, so I requested that they get a copy of it, which they said they would, and I've been oh so patiently waiting for it for like over a month, almost 2 months now, and I got an email saying that it was finally in. I could come pick it up, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so excited. I'm gonna go tomorrow and go and get it. And of course, tomorrow ends up being the day that the library closes down due to COVID-19. And my dreams were crushed. So my library is supposed to be opening back up on the 15th of April. So if they do, I will go and get that book and read it for this readathon. But we're taking things day by day. We have no idea when things are going to be opening up again. So if I can't get my hands on that book, I will instead be reading Shadow of the Fox by Julie Kagawa. Again, another book that I don't know very much about, aside from that the main character is a kitsune and that it's East Asian inspired. It sounds pretty cool. I don't know the plot, but I'm pretty sure that kitsunes transform, I think. So I hope so, because it's my only prompt for this challenge, so I hope it's actually the case. I'm pretty sure it is. So we're going for it. So that's it for my librarian training prompts. But I am also doing the Animagus training and the Mer People Linguistics course. For the Animagus training, I also had to do Arithmancy and Transfiguration, which I already have books for. And then the third prompt was to do Potions, which is a book under 150 pages. So for that, I'll be reading Rogue Protocol by Martha Wells, which is the third book in the Murderbot Diaries series, which I absolutely adore. It's so much fun. Now, I am technically cheating. This book on Goodreads is 158 pages, but it was the shortest book on my TBR, and I've been trying so hard to get my TBR down that I didn't want to add a random book just for the sake of this prompt. So yeah, it's a little bit over 150, but it's close enough, so I'm going for it. And like, if you count, the author's note and the acknowledgements and the table of contents, those all count for pages. So the actual story part of it is going to be under 150. I'm totally just justifying my cheating, but you know what? It's fine. It's fine. And then finally, for the Mer People Linguistics course, I need to do my Herbology Owls, which is to read a book that starts with M. So my first choice for that is to read Magic for Liars by Sarah Gailey. Again, know nothing about this book, but it's by Sarah Gailey, so I want to read it. And my second choice is Mem by Bethany C. Morrow. So this book takes place in our society 100 years in the past, with one little twist to it where a scientist figured out how to extract bad memories from our brains and turn them into mirror versions of ourselves called mems, in which they're zombies and relive that one memory over and over again until they die. And this book follows one mem who is somehow able to create her own memories, which has never happened before. So this book is just about her life as they try to figure out what to do with her, basically. It sounds really interesting. It's super short as well, so it'd be great for a readathon when I'm like overwhelmed with books. But it sounds really fun, and I can't wait for it if I don't get to Magic for Liars. So either way, I'll probably be reading that one pretty soon anyways. But so that is it for my TBR for the 2020 O.W.L.s Magical Readathon. I'm really excited to be part of this. I can't wait to see what everybody else is reading. Let me know if you're also planning on doing this readathon and what books you're planning on reading, because I'm very curious to know. Hopefully I'll find some new books to add to my TBR from that as well. But good luck to everybody. I can't wait for this. I'm sure we're all very excited and ready to read all month long. But yeah. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a lovely day wherever you are in the world. I will catch you all next time. Bye!